First of all, isolate your object from the background. Open the photo you wish to modify. Once you are in the new file, open your layers palette by going to Window, Layer. Cut out the object in your photo and place it on a new layer. To cut it out, go to Pen tool and select this chair area. If you don't know how to remove background, you can find it another tutorial of this channel. Give your new layer a name that indicates the background has been removed, such as to avoid confusion with other layers as you create your shadows. To create rename, double click on the layer 1 and write your background, write your layer name. Isolated. Click on the eye icon next to your background layer. Background layer to make the background invisible. This way you will only be able to see your object against a transparent background. Create a new background behind your isolated object. In your layers palette, select your hidden background layer. Go to Layer, New Layer, and or Shift Ctrl N, click. This layer will serve as your new background. Fill the new layer with a color by which is looks best or perfect. This is a good color. Hit the OK. It's a good color. Now create a drop shadow with your isolated object layer selected. Click on the FX button at the bottom of your layer palette and select a drop shadow. The drop shadow dialog box will pop up. Create a drop shadow by setting your shadow color with your foreground color. The opacity, distance, spread and size level are not that important right now, as you will be adjusting all that later. Now, once you are satisfied with drop shadow setting, click OK. Create a layer from your drop shadow. Go to the layer style and create layer to separate with your drop shadow from its layer. This will allow you to modify the shadow independent of the object. A warning dialog box might pop up when you go to create the layer. If so, just click OK. Distort the drop shadow. Select the isolated drop shadow layer. Go to Edit, Transform, Distort. To pull your drop shadow down to the floor, to do so, set the blending mode of your shadow layer to normal, opacity 100%, and fill 100%. Draw a selection around the area of your shadow you needed to modify using the triangular marquee tool, and then hit the OK. Select the rectangle marquee tool to edit this shadow, or select the lasso tool. Go to Edit, Transform, Distort, and make sure it's start the layer. Hit the OK and deselect it. Right click and deselect. Now every layers are make it. Go to Edit, Transform, Distort. Make it, put it right position. OK. Hit the OK button and go to Select and Deselect. Then select this shadow to fit it. Go to Edit, Transform, Distort. Same technique, apply it. Hit the OK. Go to Select and Deselect. All shadow are selected. Go to Edit, the same technique applied, Distort. And hit the OK. Go to Select and deselected it. Create an alpha channel. This shadow is starting to look realistic, but remember that in real life shadows become blurrier and lighten the further they recede from the object. Using the alpha channel is an easy way to control the areas of the shadow that need to blur and lighten. To create an alpha channel, go to Window, Channel. To open your channel palette, click on the palette menu to select New Channel. To select new channel, a new channel dialog box will pop up. You can keep the name as its default Alpha 1 Under color indicates and make sure the selected area radio button is chosen. Hit the OK. New layer are created. Create a guardian within your alpha channel. In your channel palette, select your new alpha 1 channel. Just you would select a layer. Make sure the visibility is toggled on for all channels. Blur selection. Once you have created your gradient in your alpha channel, you will see a red gradient on top of your image, indicating how the max within the channel interacts with your image. You can toggle the eye icon next to alpha 1 to make the red gradient invisible so it is not distracted. Click on the channel in your channels palette to select your color channel and deselect your alpha channel. Go to your layer palette to make sure you still have your drop shadow layer selected. Go to filter, blur, lens blur. A dialog box will show up giving you significant control over your blur. Make sure the box next to preview is checked. Under deep map, select alpha 1 from the source drop down menu. Keep the blur focal distance 0 and check the box next to invert. Slide the radius to high number. In this example, it is set to 67. Leave all other values at their default. Click OK. Create a layer mask. Go to select, load selection. Choose alpha 1 from the channel drop down option and make sure the radio button next to new selection is set. Click OK. You will now see a selection approximating the darkest area of the gradient you created in your alpha channel. Select inverse by going to select inverse or typing Shift Ctrl I. In your layer palettes, click on the layer max icon at the bottom of layer palette. When max applied, the shadow will appear to fade as it recedes into the distance. Notice the thumbnail for the layer max matches with the thumbnail next to alpha 1. Thanks for watching video and don't forget to subscribe this channel.